So I previously gave you guys some ideas on how to add a pop of color to a vase just using a little bit of sample paint. Well, I had so much left over that I decided to do other projects. So what I did, I went to Lowe's, and you can also go to your local craft store, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, things like that, and see if they have some of these boards. But I just got a 1/4 inch thick board, and it is 3.5 inches wide by 2 feet long. And I bought 4 of them actually, so you can see the 3 on this side. And on the other side, I cut the other one in half using a saw and actually used wood glue and just glued it to the back. Now this came in a natural color and I went ahead and stained it. I think at Lowe's you can buy them in various colors, and you don't have to stain it, it's just what I decided to do because I wanted that dark rich color to come through back here. But on here I just glued them together and I waited a day, and then I stained it both sides. It probably took me a couple of days just because between having a 1-year-old and nap schedules and errands, I didn't necessarily get to it, so it was great because it was something I could do kind of as I went. So I stained it, and then what I did is I took that paint and I painted it on the top. And I even have a sample size of a lighter blue, and I just took a really light brush, a dry brush, and just dipped the ends in it and wiped it off a little bit so I didn't get too much. And because this is a really an inexpensive wood, it's a pine, so it soaks up that paint really, really well. So I coated the darker color on the back, and then I got the lighter color on top and just used the dry brush and went throughout, and it absorbed it, but it absorbed it really well. So that looked really good. And then I just took a fine sandpaper, a 220 grit, and I wrapped it around a piece of wood so I could grip it a little bit better. And I got the corners really well, as you can see here. Let it refocus. There we go. I got the corners here, so it even got into the lighter wood, which gives it a kind of a cool depth of color because I have the dark stain on the edges, the blue, and then the light wood underneath. And I was able to make it look a bit weathered, which is really neat. And I sanded it down, just long strokes, get it even, and it kind of started showing through. And then make sure to get some of the corners on the outside, you can see that too, to give it a weathered look. So this is what I'm left. I bought the mirror hangers and screwed them in on each side. Make sure to use a level and a measuring tape to make sure you get it even on both sides. You don't want it hung all cockeyed. And then I just got some wire and wrapped it around so that I can get a nice hang here. I did that just to be a little bit, making it easier on myself so that when I went to hang it I could just adjust it to make it straight rather than worry about if I put the thing just slightly off kilter and then it was going to be tilted on the wall. So I just did that to make it a little bit easier on myself. So now I have this great piece right here, a unique wall hanging, and I can add some pictures to it, design to it, live, laugh, love, family, whatever you want to do. And you can even hang it this way if you want. And they also have different sizes of boards, so you don't have to go this big, or you could go even bigger and longer. And you could even do something like hang it on your front door with something on it instead of a wreath. So you have a lot of different options with some of these things you could do. This is just an easy idea to add a pop of color into the room. And also, you could use any color you want. Purple, you could just stain it and leave it stained. The reason why I did this was because I have some white picture frames, but we rent, so we have lots of white walls, as you can see. And at my last rental, it was kind of a lot more work to paint the walls and then have to paint it back before we moved out. So these are great ideas that you can do if you happen to rent your space. And so what I'm going to do, possibly with this, is hang the white frame here so it doesn't get washed out by the wall in the background. So there you go, a nice, simple, easy project and less than $10.